going on, you guys? Welcome back. Now, last video we had out was working on Frankenstein here, our Gixxer 600 powered home-built cross cart. And in that video we took some of our 1¼ by 1¼ square tubing, strengthened up the frame, kind of went over a little backstory of how this thing became what it is right now. Also in that video told you guys that I did plan on adding my old turbo to this buggy build, and I've actually used the old drum brake off the rear end that I traded for the Mustang. Some that bent axle I had in that rear end that it came out of, some scrap tubing, some bolts that I welded together, made a little stand to go up inside where the oil drain was on the turbo so it'll hold it in place for me. Now I'm going to build a couple of mounts to go from this bar and this bar, kind of tie into our flange here to kind of help support the turbo for this buggy. I feel because it's so far out on the edge there that it will just, the header won't be strong enough to hold it, especially if we're going over bumps and everything. So I'm going to make some mounts off the frame, kind of solid mount the turbo again. I do have a flex joint that we will be installing in our header. Now I do have some other header material over there, as well as I just ordered a couple of these. So you can see, make a couple 90s, 45. There's a lot you can do with these, and I did order 2 of them. Got this guy as well. I'm going to build kind of like a log style header for this thing. The last runner for the header is going to run into this, and of course turn into 2.5 and then go all the way out to our turbo. I really don't know how well that turbo is going to function on that thing. Like I said in the last video, it may only make turbo noises. That's completely okay with me. I believe that engine comes 100 horsepower stock, and I mainly just want to do it because I want to practice and get better with my TIG welding. So we got some stainless over there, got some aluminum for some charge piping that I'll be making in the future for that. But that's just kind of like practice, get on that for a little bit here and there, cut some pieces up, weld it together. Anyways, my main focus right now, of course, is this Mustang. Now, the video before the buggy, we took this Mustang out on a test drive, and from what my temperature gauge said, the transmission was running a little warm. I put one of those handhelds on there. Of course, it was nowhere near what the gauge said, so I ordered a new gauge. That is installed in the car. Cannot really function test it because my silly head thought that I had plenty of new tubing or dash 6 line to go to our new transmission cooler. Turns out I do not. When I was looking at it, was looking at all the dash 10. Never took a measurement there, so I ordered new line. That is coming. I did take all the old line out. It is kind of messed up. Right now I've got it just draining in a bucket. I will be removing all those fittings, cleaning those up because I will have to reuse some of them. And but anyways, so that's why that's sitting over there. And what I'm doing on the car right now is we are building the bracket and we are going to install this. So, kind of show you what I got going on so far. Got some angle iron here that I've cut up to make a kind of like a seat. I got some little brackets here that I will have to weld onto this guy there, kind of as a standoff so it bolts to what I have going on. Let's see. Let me grab the over there. Go ahead and climb them up underneath the car. As you guys can see, I already have one kind of mocked up. There it is. And it's sitting in place right here. It is bolted up. And this guy is going to, let's show you, sit right up inside there. It'll be attached just like that. Come out to the edge there. So I basically have to build another one to come off this side to help support it. There's our fittings that'll be running out. It's going to have a slight tilt to it, and then we'll run our hoses up over the frame rail following our intercooler hose, up and over and back into the transmission. So I've already taken a few measurements. I just got to get this guy kind of cleaned up, get it over to the table, get these little standoffs welded up, get it bolted into the car, and then go from there. So let's get to it. All right, so we got our little mounts welded up, and I've actually got it installed right now. It's kind of sitting up there. I got a couple other pieces I need to mock up and weld into place, but kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So there's our cooler. As you guys can see, it's sitting in there. Kind of a slight angle, nothing real drastic. Got it bolted to the frame that we made for our fuel pump and all that other stuff. And what I want to do now is, I've got these pieces cut out, and they're going to go up in between right here. As you can see, I got them marked on each side, already measured. That gets welded into place, and then we'll have holes drilled in between each runner. So like there, there, and there. We're going to have one of those brackets on each side with the little holes drilled. We're going to use some stainless screws, some little like nylock nuts on the back side to help secure that in place. I do have a cushion that's going to sit on. It's not going to be hard mounted to that bracket, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But so now that I've got those measured and cut where I need them to go, I've also got this electric fan that I want to mount. I've got these pieces cut out as well. You guys can see I've got these little tabs that come with this electric fan. I've got it cut. Goes across from each tab. And that will, once we get these guys welded into place, I'll measure and center up to where this guy goes across. And our fan will be bolted to that. So that's basically what I got going on. So I'm going to get that, now that I've got those pieces cut, pretty much measured or located where I want them, I'm going to get these, get the cooler back out of the car, get it set back up, get it welded into place or welded up, and we're going to retest fit in the car. So that's what we'll do right now. See you guys in a second. All right, we are welded up. I actually got it welded up. I put it in the car, test fit it, took it out, welded our crossbars on, sanded it up real quick, painted it, got our cooler bolted to it right now. Kind of show you what it looks like. So that's what it looks like, all painted up. Now, we got some stainless steel screws here that go all the way through. some big washers on the back to go up against this. Ooh, almost dropped it. To go up against this guy here. The big washers are to keep from squishing this little edge, and nylocks to kind of keep them from coming loose. If you look down in there, oh, let's see if I can get the focus. There it goes. You'll see a strip of foam. Now that foam actually goes all the way around the edge, all the way around the outside of the cooler, so it's not hard mounted. It's got something in there to kind of absorb some of the vibrations. And this is what I'm using. You can actually pick this up at Lowe's, Home Depot, I think pretty much any little hardware store. That's where I got it from. I believe I got it from Lowe's. And I used this, so this a couple years ago. I used it to kind of seal the lids on my bags for my bike over there. This is what I use. Works really well. And there's our bolts. Here's our electric fan. Sits right over. There we go. So that's what it looks like with the fan attached. Kind of a neat little setup. So we'll go ahead and get it bolted up in the car and show you guys what it looks like installed. All right, we are installed. It is sitting where it's going to sit. So you guys can see up in there, there's plenty of clearance. Nothing rubs. I'm just waiting on some -6 line now. Waiting on our relay. Waiting on the relay for the fan. Now I bought one of those temperature controlled relays, so the fan will kick on at roughly about 170, 180. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. Yeah, I did installed the line today, but silly me, dropped the ball. I thought I had plenty of line up on the corner. Like I said earlier, I did not. Should have measured it. Now I'm usually pretty good about that. I got called into work early. Sometimes I can come home, I can see that, I can order it, and it'll be here within 4 to 5 days. But I got called into work early this time. I'm only home for 5 days. So probably only gonna have time to make one more video. I'm hoping that way you guys will see this video. It'll skip a week, another video, skip a week, and then I should be back on schedule. But we got a big project coming up at work out there. They asked me to come back early, so anyways, enough of that. Like I said, our transmission cooler is installed. I will add a link to that. I'll add a link to those fans as well. Actually, that fan came in a package of 2. I think I paid less than 30 bucks for a universal fan. I'm interested to see how that will work for it back there. The other fan is going to go on our cross cart. Now I know this whole transmission cooler installation on the back of the car is definitely not going to be for everybody. I did this and posted it to kind of give you some ideas in case you are doing something like this. But that cooler will work just as well up front. I believe it actually comes with the little ties and the cushions where it straps directly to your factory radiator if you got nothing up there. But me moving it to the back is all part of a bigger plan. Like I said, I got another radiator for this car. Actually, I have a little bit thicker but factory size radiator for this car, so I can kind of move it around a little bit. Eventually, I want to redo this whole turbo setup. I think I can do it better. Just as I keep going with this thing, I learn a little bit more. I'm getting a little bit better with the TIG welder. Definitely better than I was when I first started. So I got that going for me. But like I said, that's coming up. That's in the future. Right now, I'm just going to wait for some lines. We'll get that thermostat relay or that temperature control relay installed back there, and hopefully get this thing back on the dyno very, very soon. I want to take it out. I want to play with it. I know a lot of you guys are interested to see how well this new turbo works for this car. I just don't want to fry the transmission doing it. And we can check our temperature, our transmission temp gauge, make sure that works. I did run it earlier. I only have the lines looped on the transmission. I let it get up to about 110. And between the temperature gauge and my little gun, they were within 5 degrees of each other, which is a lot closer than the other one. and that's without adding tin to the gun. So that may work out for us. Like I said, waiting for the line so we can finish hooking that up. Yeah, that's basically all I got for the car right now. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new and you've made it this far, please hit that subscribe button for me. Help me continue to grow this channel. I want to keep growing so I can give back to you guys. The more I grow, the more I can give back, and that's really why I started this. Is just to have fun, get your guys' input, maybe give some of you guys out there some new ideas. I definitely try to post some of my failures, because some of you may be thinking the same thing, and I'll fail at it, and then you know not to do it. Or you can figure out a different way of doing it, a different approach. Really, that's all this is for me, just to grow, have fun, help you guys out, listen to your guys' comments. Yeah, so again, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button for me. I do want to do another giveaway coming up real soon, so don't want you to miss that. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys on the next one.